What's up, guys? Mike here with Cards View Sports Cards. Alright, so we've talked about investing in sports cards as mid to long-term investments. We've talked about flipping sports cards as short-term investments, like if you're buying lots or collections and trying to flip those cards quickly to generate quick revenue. Today, I want to invest in my next round of sports cards, and I want to do it with you on screen on eBay, so let's jump right in. Before we do, if you want to unlock the secrets of selling and investing in low-end sports cards on eBay, this channel is your go-to source for expert tips, honest insights, and strategies to help boost your eBay sales. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me if you want to stay ahead in the card selling game, maximize your profits, and take your eBay card selling business to the next level. You can also check out my other channel at Puck Mike, where I open and talk about hockey cards. Now, if you didn't see me do this the first time, go ahead and check out that video. Before I get too far into this, I just want to say that investing in sports cards can be very risky. And for these specific cards that I'm investing in, I'm not spending that much money because I know it's risky, and although we can analyze all the data points we want before making a purchase, there is an element of luck to it when it comes to finding a player who's going to generate a return for you. I say this because I have seen some videos recently of people talking about, oh, I lost so much money investing in sports cards. I didn't know what I was doing. I spent thousands and thousands on the wrong players. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be a sports card investor. I want to repeat that, okay? You do not have to spend a lot of money to be a sports card investor. You can buy affordable cards for $50 or less and track those players' cards over time to see if they appreciate in value, at which point you can sell for profit. That is sports card investing. I don't care what anybody else or any other channel tells you. Investing is putting money in to get more money out. It does not matter how much that amount is. You're still investing. So I just want to make sure, if you're new to the channel or new to sports card investing in general, investing does not mean spending big money. So make your decisions wisely and just know it's okay to start small. And it's okay to stay small. You don't have to reach a point where you're spending $10,000 to buy one card. It's okay to stay small. And it's okay to never do this at all. If you'd rather just buy collections or lots and flip low to mid-end cards, it's okay to do that too. Always do what works for you. Now, the way that I'm going to buy sports cards today is not the only way that I buy sports cards. It's probably actually only like 5% or less of the way that I buy sports cards. Mostly what I do is I buy lots or collections on eBay, and I try to flip those on eBay for profit. And most of those cards are low to mid-end cards. But I'm having a lot of fun to see if I can buy cards as true investments and see if they appreciate in value over a certain period of time. Tracking those players, checking in on their minor league stats or major league stats, wherever they are, and seeing if they have a spike in the market, and then selling those players at that time. I've done this on a very, very small scale. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. It's definitely possible because people have done it. But is it possible to do it enough where you can make money at it? Because again, there is an element of luck to it, no matter how many data points you have at your disposal. So I'm going to do it for a little bit longer. Maybe this year, we'll see. We'll check in on my investments. I'm going to do an investments check-in when I recap January, so be sure to check out that video when I posted at the beginning of February. Now, in my last video, I talked about different buying categories and different hype categories that can help inform your buying decisions. Basically, when you're ready to buy cards, how do I know who to buy? Who should I buy? So today, we're going to apply some of those categories in my decision making. I didn't just do those for you guys, I used those myself as well. Now, one of those categories was the sleeper pick. Today, I want to go back and try to find some players who have yet to reach the point of any hype causing a peak in their value. So they are completely 100% under the radar. Could be a first round draft pick that hasn't panned out yet, but it doesn't have to be though. But the key point here, the key point is that they still have the potential to reach that hype. So I'm not talking about a first round draft pick who has since, retired early or had a career ending injury early. There's no more chances for that player to have any hype. That would be a waste of money. I'm talking about people that maybe they didn't live up to the hype right away. Maybe they got sent to the minors, played internationally for a few years. They came back. Maybe they're having a really good year in the minors right now. Now, I did have a listener comment, and I appreciate the comment about using AI to help me generate some of this information. And I've done a little bit of that before if you watch my video on how to use ChatGPT to source your sports cards. The problem is ChatGPT, at least the older model, it wasn't that great with sports stats. Now, the newer model is a lot better, so it is definitely something you can use now, I think, to help with that. Now, I want to step back for a second before I get too much further into this. As I was planning this video, at this point in the video, I was just going to jump to eBay and just buy some baseball cards as investments and see who I could find who was flying under the radar. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, can you give me some players from the 2022 draft who were maybe later first round picks who didn't make their major league debut yet and who are maybe still kind of flying under the radar? It gave me a few results. I researched some of those results. I even pasted their minor league stats back into ChatGPT, and it compared the current year stats against their overall stats and gave me a trend analysis. Hey, this player's doing much better than they normally do, or they're doing a little bit lower than what they normally do, so they might be trending down. And so it gave me potential upside based on those stats. So I thought, great, but to be honest, nothing really jumped out at me when I was researching those players that it gave me, and I kind of started to feel a little bit frustrated. So then I came upon this site called MLB Pipeline that ranks players and positions, even by team, and it gives an ETA for each player of when they think they're going to make it to the big league. So I thought, great, well, I just need to pull some players from this top 10 prospects list, and those are going to be my under the radar players. I'll buy some of their cards and I'll track them over time. But guess what happened? One of those players was Trey Morgan, 3rd round pick in 2023 by the Tampa Bay Rays. He's having a great year in the minors. Other than a big league call up, guess what else can hype a player to the point of card value increase? That's right, a great season in the minors. So I quickly realized for those players, it's too late to invest in those cards as under the radar players because they're not under the radar anymore. Once you make a top 10 prospects list, especially in baseball where prospecting is a huge part of the game, you are no longer under the radar. Collectors and investors are searching for your cards. It may not be at the highest point of demand that it will be, but there's people buying those cards now, and that drives up the price. So what did I realize at this point? I quickly realized that I should not be investing in baseball cards to this magnitude. Now, I don't mean that I'm not going to buy baseball card collections or lots and sell those in my store. I don't mean that I'm never going to buy a baseball card that I consider an investment that I hope to get a bigger return on someday. But if I don't truly watch baseball as much as I should, how can I invest in something I don't have full knowledge of? Like the players, the teams, the minor league teams, which teams are better for player development. And this is a really good lesson here, so I wanted to share this with you as I realized this for my own business. If you are investing in cards, you should only invest in what you know the best. It's not that you can't invest in other cards like I mentioned, but you'll have the best chance for success if you invest in what you know the best. Because your decisions are going to be more strategic as they are rooted in the knowledge that you have of the players, the teams, the minor league teams, which teams are trending up, which teams are rebuilding, which teams have had players in the past who have had breakout seasons who were completely under the radar. So for me, when I talk about these investment cards, what I'm mostly going to invest in is hockey cards, because that's what I know the most. I know which teams are doing good right now. I know which teams are doing bad. I know which teams have been rebuilding for years and years and years, and whose players' cards might not hold as much value, even if they are really good prospects. I know which teams have had players before come on the scene who were completely under the radar, and they have breakout seasons and their cards increase in value. I know which teams are constantly being headlined for having struggles in the locker room, internal conflicts, which might not be good for player performance and development. I know all of those things off the top of my head for hockey because I follow it very, very closely because I love it the most. So I can make more strategic decisions when it comes to hockey cards because that's what I know the most. So today, that's what we're going to invest in. So let's jump right in and buy some cards.
All right, so let's go back to, let's just say 2019 draft year. I'm trying to get players that are a little bit older, but still young. Older as in like not 18, maybe like 21, 22, even 23, just because there's more cards of them. The younger players, they'll have some cards from their minor league teams and from like the CHL, which is the Canadian Hockey League, but I'm really hoping for somebody who's already played in the AHL and even some games in the NHL, just because hopefully they'll have more cards in some of Upper Deck's products and more options out there to invest in. So we'll just go down the list here, and again, like knowing these players, knowing the sport, like I know all these players, their hype is already gone, at least the initial hype. It doesn't mean you can't buy these players and get value for them in the future, but like the initial rookie phase, first round draft pick type hype, it's done. So like we're not going to buy any of these. We're looking at players that are under the radar here that really have not come on the scene yet. They can be a first round pick, it can be a 7th round pick. Let's see. Well, you know, there was a player I wanted to check in here, Donovan Sebrango. So again, because I follow a lot of these teams, I know that this guy just made his NHL debut the other day for the Ottawa Senators. He was around 3, draft pick 2020, pick 63. Let's check his full stats here. He's only played 1 game this season. That was that game. He's only played 1 total pro game. 3rd round draft pick. I mean, probably not a lot of hype, see? So let's just take a look what he's done. So he was drafted in 2020. So before that, not a ton there. Drafted in 2020 would have been his first season. After that would have been 2020, 2021. So it looks like after he was drafted, they signed him to an ELC entry-level contract and didn't do much in the minors. Slovakia didn't do much the year after that either. How's he trending though? 7 points, but he had 7 points here in less games. 7 points here in less games, but I mean, he's not really tearing it up here. This year he's doing a little bit better. Okay, 13 points in 28 games. He's a defenseman. The only thing that makes me a little bit hesitant here is defensemen aren't super sought after in the hockey card space. And the Ottawa Senators, like, eventually they're trending up. They're doing a little bit better this season. They've been not that great for a while. Let's come back to him. We'll keep that as a potential. That is actually the type of player that we're looking for. If he was on a team like that I know is good right now or going to be good next year, or if he was on offense, like I probably would go ahead and just see what I can buy of his cards. Minnesota Wild, Vladislav Firstov. Let's see what this guy does. So mostly just looking at their stats. Okay, so he hasn't played any NHL games. That's great. But let's see where he has played. So he'll have some AHL product out there. 23, 24. played with the Iowa Wild, mostly been playing in KHL. That's not terrible. Means he hasn't really... Oh, so he's in the KHL right now. If he hasn't played any pro games, he's probably not going to have a lot of cards out there, except for the AHL cards. Goalies do pretty well. Let's look at this Hunter Jones, second-round draft pick. Oh, he's in the ECHL right now. That's actually not bad, and he has played in the AHL. So, again, knowing hockey. I know this because I watch hockey, and I know these leagues. ECHL, if you're playing in the ECHL, you're likely eventually going to get a shot at the AHL. AHL is the last stop before the NHL. So, I mean, he was drafted, what, 2019? So, 2019. So the 2019-20 season would have been, they went 31-14 that season in the OHL. Year after that in Iowa, this is the minors right before the NHL, 9-9, 2-6. A little concerning he went to the ECHL here. They do have I think they have a pretty good pipeline in Minnesota, so 11-17 isn't good. 8-0 here this year though, that's pretty good. Let's check this guy out. I just want to show you why I'm looking for players that have played in the NHL is because right now, like for this player, the only options are these AHL cards, which yeah, there's a signed card here, but these don't usually break the bank. Well, CHL printing plate. But again, I mean, he doesn't have any other products. Oh, this 1920. Oh, that's CHL as well. He's not in like Series 1, Series 2, or anything like that. Yeah, so we need to find players who have actually played in the NHL. All right, guys, I'm going to look at this guy. This is Cole Schwindt, 2019 81st overall, so he's in the 3rd round. He's had some games here in the NHL. I mean, pretty under the radar here, like nothing amazing or remarkable here. 3rd round draft pick. He's done pretty much nothing. No one's going to be jumping all over this guy. So if he was drafted in 2019, first season after draft, back to the OHL. This is common for a lot of players though, but he had a really good year. Okay, so he did do AHL that year, Syracuse Crunch, NHL a few games, Charlotte Checkers, had a really good year in the minors here. So, I mean, a lot of this just hasn't translated to the NHL yet, but that doesn't mean it's not going to. Last year, I mean, 36 points, and I think they waived him or traded him. I'm taking a shot on this guy. This is exactly the type of player that I'm looking for right here. Played in the NHL already. He's going to have some more products out there to invest in. Completely under the radar. No one's going to be searching for this card. Guarantee it. Doesn't mean, like, I'm a genius for buying them. Nothing could happen. Hence, that's why we're doing this. That's why we're investing, seeing if these decisions work or not or pan out. If we do a quick search for his cards, we have some good options. Pretty cheap. Here we go. Here's an auto. Future Watch autos. Those are kind of the gold standard of like the Rookie cards here. I mean, this one is so cool. Number to 499. Comes from Canada, of course. A lot of hockey cards coming from Canada. I mean, Future Watch autograph. This is 21-22. Future Watch auto. I mean, these Future Watch autos are pretty good. I mean, this is a PSA 10. I love, especially after doing my first graded submission, that completely tanked and didn't give me any 10s. Kind of love just buying one that's already a 10. I mean, this is what, 24 plus. I mean, I'm gonna buy this one, guys. We'll go ahead and buy that one, and then let's buy one more. I kind of like the Young Guns. See if we got anything already graded in here too. Only one's coming up graded. That's a canvas black, although it is SGC. That looks pretty sick though in the black case. I'm not gonna lie. This might be one where SGC is actually better. It's free shipping. That's good. Let's just take one more peek here. All right, we'll look really quickly without the graded ones. Young Guns canvas, of course. Speckled rainbow foil. That one's cool. Clear cut. Oh, there's one here that's 9 out of 100. Let's look at the condition of this one. These UD exclusives are cool. It's terrible condition. Terrible. It's never gonna grade anything ever anywhere. French Young Guns, those sell really well too. I tell you, Upper Deck's got to get a handle on their quality control here, guys. This is ridiculous. All right, last thing, we're gonna look without the Young Guns filter. The cup. Now this one is really cool. Let's look at the condition of this one. It's not terrible. I'm not saying this because I'm gonna grade it, but if I ever resell it, some other collectors are going to want to maybe grade it. This is actually pretty good condition. I'm going to buy this one. I'm going to buy this one. So that's 3 cards there. What is that? Not a huge investment. But this is me kind of knowing these teams. Like Vegas is doing decent. They're not rebuilding anytime soon. I don't think they're going to win the cup again anytime soon. But, I do think they got some guys that they'll probably have to move eventually, I think, from some contracts and whatnot. So I think there is going to be room on the roster. And this guy's already playing on the team. So, like, huge potential, for him to jump up into the lineup. He's shown that he can score in the minor leagues. I'm going to take a chance on this guy. So we got 3 cards. I feel pretty good about this. I'm excited. Here's the thing, though, guys. Like, this is the cool thing about doing this on such a low scale. When I say low scale, like not spending thousands of dollars here. If nothing happens with this guy, and this is why I also say invest in what you know but what you love. I love hockey cards. Like these cards are so cool. Regardless of if I get a return on them, I can just put them in my collection. So that's the other cool thing about it too. So it's low risk, and that's what you're looking for with your investment decisions.
That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, as always, only invest in what you know, and only invest if you truly want to do it. And if you do want to do it, invest in what you can afford. There's channels out there, people spending thousands, $10,000, $20,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars investing in cards. You do not have to spend that money to be a sports card investor. I repeat over and over. It doesn't mean that those people are doing anything wrong. That works for them. They've reached a point where they find something that works for them. Or maybe it doesn't, but it doesn't matter. You have to do what works for you. Take every piece of advice you get, every channel's video that you watch, take the bits that work for you, apply them to your own business. But hear me clearly, if you spend $1, if you spend a penny on a card, and your goal is to get more than a penny back when you sell that card, you are investing in sports cards. So do what works for you, do it on whatever scale you want. I hope these lessons have helped you. I'm so grateful for your support. As always, don't forget, I have my affiliate links in the description if you want to see some of the products that I use. Like, subscribe, head on over to the eBay store, buy some cards. Every little bit helps. Thank you so much for the support. If you want to unlock the secrets of selling and investing in low-end sports cards on eBay, this channel is your go-to source for expert tips, honest insights, and strategies to help boost your eBay sales. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me if you want to stay ahead in the card selling game, maximize your profits, and take your eBay card selling business to the next level. You can also check out my other channel at Puck Mike, where I open and talk about hockey cards. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.